I let him cheat so I can watch him fail. Back in high school, there was this guy named Eric who thought he was God's gift to everyone. He was one of those guys who wore designer clothes every day, drove his dad's BMW to school, and acted like the rest of us were invisible. For 3 years, this dude never said a single word to me, not one. I'd see him in the hallways making fun of people with his friends, laughing at freshmen, being a complete jerk to anyone he thought was beneath him, which was basically everyone. I was pretty quiet back then, kept my head down, got good grades, didn't really talk to many people. Eric and his crew would walk past me like I was a piece of furniture. Then we had this major history test that a bunch of us missed because of a field trip. Our teacher set up for us to take it during regular class in this empty room at the back of the school. It was supposed to be just 5 of us taking the makeup test. Quiet, supervised, no big deal. I walk into the testing room and Eric's already there, which was weird because I didn't even know he went on the field trip. Turned out he just skipped the original test day and lied about being sick. The teacher hands out the exams and goes to sit at the front desk. The test was on World War II and it was hard, like 50 multiple choice questions plus 3 essay questions, worth 30% of our grade. I'm about 2 questions in when Eric literally picks up his chair and moves it right next to mine. The legs make this horrible scraping sound on the floor. I look at him like, what are you doing? And he just smiles at me, this big fake smile. Then he starts talking, in the middle of a test, whispering about how I'm actually really pretty and he never noticed before, how I could probably be a model or something, how my hair looks nice today. I'm just staring at him because this dude has never acknowledged my existence until right this second. Then he drops it. Hey, you're smart, right? Can I see your answers real quick? I'll make it worth your while. I looked at this guy who'd spent 3 years treating me like dirt, who was now asking me to let him cheat because he was too lazy to study. And I smiled. Sure, give me like 10 minutes to finish and I'll show you. His whole face lit up. He actually fist pumped under the desk. For the next 10 minutes, Eric didn't even pretend to take the test. He just sat there spinning his pencil, checking his phone under the desk, waiting for me to finish. I worked through the whole exam, filling in all my answers carefully, made sure my handwriting was extra neat so he could read it easily. When I was done, I whispered, okay, I'm ready, copy fast. Eric practically lunged at my paper. He started writing down every single answer as quick as he could. Multiple choice, short answers, even copied my essays word for word. The whole thing took him maybe 3 minutes. He was so focused on copying that he didn't even notice I was watching him the entire time. When he finished, he grinned at me and whispered, you're the best. I owe you one. Then I told him, you should turn yours in first so it doesn't look suspicious. He thought that was genius. Grabbed his test and practically ran to the teacher's desk at the front. As soon as he left the room, I pulled out my eraser. Every single answer gone. Then I filled in the correct answers, the ones I'd actually studied for, the ones I knew were right. I took my time, made sure everything was perfect, then turned in my test about 5 minutes later. The teacher said it would take her about a week to grade them since there were so many essays. That whole week, Eric went back to completely ignoring me. Actually, it was worse than ignoring. I'd see him in the hallway pointing at me and laughing with his friends, like I was some kind of joke. In the cafeteria, he'd make these comments just loud enough for me to hear. Stuff about how desperate some people are for attention. His friends thought it was hilarious. I just kept my mouth shut and waited. Finally, 1 week later, our teacher walked into class with a stack of graded tests. She started handing them back one by one. I was sitting in the middle of the room. Eric was in the back corner with his friends. I got mine first. A+ written in red marker at the top, 98 out of 100. A few minutes later, the teacher walked to the back and handed Eric his test. The room went dead quiet. Eric stood straight up out of his chair. His face turned completely red. An F? How did I get an F? He was literally shouting. The teacher told him to sit down, but he just stood there staring at his paper. Then he looked directly at me. I held up my test with that big A+ showing, and I smiled. The exact same smile I gave him when I said he could copy. His friends started laughing at him. One of them grabbed the test to look at it and was like, bro, you got a 34. That's impressive. Eric's jaw just dropped. He looked back and forth between me and his test like 5 times. Then he finally figured it out. He never said another word to me for the rest of high school.